escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, September 8th. We're ready for Monday Night Football. Tonight, we've got the Bears hosting the Vikings to cap off a wild Week 1 of the NFL season. And man, it felt like one of the best Week 1s. Hey, maybe the scoring wasn't there, but the drama was, and it was a great night last night. Hopefully you were able to join us here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks as we had our dual stream last night, and a great time for sure. I was yelling at Mike to stop saying the Bills could come back. I mean, we were on them, felt like it was a lost cause. Mike never gave up hope, and the Buffalo Bills pulled off one of the biggest comebacks in probably Sunday Night Football history last night. What a performance by both teams, really offensively, and a day that was dominated by defense, and Sunday chock full of unders. In fact, of the 12 games yesterday, or 13, I guess, 13 games yesterday, 11 of them went under, except for the Steelers and the Jets and the Bills and the Ravens. As Buffalo, Matt Prater kicked a 32-yard field goal as time expired for the comeback win. Josh Allen, 394 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Buffalo gets the win. Buffalo solid on those close games, man. They really know how to get the money when it comes down to, games that are tightly lined. Those are usually Buffalo games. Currently, Buffalo, their last 5 drives, 22 points, and the Ravens dominated the first half with 27 points on their first 5 drives, and Baltimore in their last 3 drives came up zilch, and the Ravens, who led 34-19 after 3 quarters, despite rushing for 238 yards, Derrick Henry had the key turnover that changed the tempo, changed the momentum, changed the tide of the game last night, and opened the door for the Bills to come back and get that. We did have the over somehow. Maybe we had too many overs for sure yesterday, but we did have that over there with the Ravens and the Bills. Late night, Sunday Night Football. What a comeback by the Bills, 41-40. Let's say hello to the folks in the chat and get started with the show. We'll recap some other games as well, but I want to say hello to Nuke Worker. Nuke was with us last night. What a great time we had. Nuke joined us for the first half last night, and but he couldn't believe what he ended up seeing there in the second half in that game last night. Thank you, Nuke, for a great job. And Gary Ferenc is here. He says, is that good enough for Josh Allen to be the MVP of the league last night? Man, it felt like it. And Bobby Mack is here today as well. Hey, a little steam coming in the background here right now in Major League Baseball with Milwaukee and Texas game. To go over here, we're seeing a little bit of steam coming in on the over with Quintana and Latz. In this one, a couple left-handers going today. The steam coming in on the over here right now. It was 8 over 20 or so, but we're seeing some steam come in right now. The Brewers and the Rangers tonight, and a pretty good game here. We'll see what happens with this one tonight with in Texas. Let me see, make sure I get this line move right here. We're up to 8.5 over here right now with that steam to the over in a Texas game at home and two lefties going. So maybe the Sharps know something here. Maybe you want to go against that move. Nuki says, hey everyone, smash this like button, share this video. Sports Money here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Nick Candy's here. Bobby Mack talking about Chuba Hubbard there. Cash Kane as well. And AOD's ready to go as well. Nuke was there. He lasted it out. So the Bills got that win. We were on the Bills. They're on the show last night. I felt like we had to ride with the Bills with Mikey in there. And, man, he never gave up. I can't believe it. There last night. All right. And coming for some more coverage here right now with the games here from last night. I want to talk a little more football. The other game that went over, I think, is what I want to talk about with the Steelers beating the Jets as the Steelers get a 60-yard field goal with a minute left in the game for the win there. And you don't know if it's going in if you can't see it, and that's what the Steelers kicker said there with the game last night. Talked about it at the end of the game, and they was a real boomer of a kick there certainly yesterday, winning that game with the walk-off there in that one. But it just was funny because the way he put it, we're talking about Boswell made the 60-yarder. It could have been good from 70, and they asked Boswell, did you think it would be good from 70? He said, I don't know. I was already turning around celebrating. Didn't even see how far the ball went. Talk about confidence there for Boswell and the win for the Steelers there last night. Aaron Rodgers, 244 yards and 4 TDs. I think I characterized it correctly here. I had the Steelers minus the points, didn't get the win, but certainly on the show yesterday and on the shows that I was on said, I thought this was a better fit for Rodgers. I think this will be just fine. And given the talent the Steelers have put together, I think it was a legitimate win there. Maybe the Jets, a little shaky on D, but the Steelers on a day dominated by defense put up, 34 points, pretty solid effort for a winning team as the Jets outgained Pittsburgh nearly 220 yards in that one. So Steelers last 4 drives of the game put up 17 points. It was the same thing as that late game. The Jets in their first 4 drives put up 19 points and only had 13 points for the remainder of the game. So Justin Fields looked good. He threw for 218 yards and ran for 50 more and did a good job. But the Steelers got the win in a wild game there yesterday on the road. The Jets got the money, make no mistake, there in that one. All right, other close games here yesterday. We did have the under. We had an under, and we had the Cleveland Browns, my super high roller play over at Tony's Picks when Cleveland lost to the Bengals 17-16, but we had Cleveland as our high roller play over there, and we had the under here on the show. We had to have an under or 2 in there. After all, Cleveland missed an extra point and a 36-yard field goal to result in that 1-point loss. Cincinnati was 7 of 14 on third down, got a couple of takeaways in there, and the Bengals won despite being putting up just 141 yards of total offense for the Bengals. You're telling me this is the Joe Burrow-led Bengals right now? That's a major concern. They only had 7 yards in the second half. That's the fewest yards of any winning team the fewest yards in the second half by any team that has won a game in 25 years. So major concerns here for the Bengals moving forward there. When that happens, I mean, look, maybe they will be fine, and maybe Burrow will start to go off, but for a team with a lot of weapons, that is a bizarre statistic. Same thing, Browns, first 4 drives, 16 points, rest of the game, nothing. And the Browns, they always find a way to give the ball away at the wrong time. It seems like, but you know what? They did get the money, and they're 7-2 right now in their last 9. 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 division games. All right, another good one last night. The Buccaneers. Over the Falcons with a 23-20 win. Wrong way coup. He missed that field goal at the end of the game. I had the Falcons as my high roller premium play, no doubt about it. Had a loss there yesterday with the Falcons. Seemed like they should have won the game, but hey, hopefully you caught me yesterday on the Nuke the House channel with our NFL preview show. Atlanta's getting steamed right now, you guys. The Atlanta Braves are getting steamed right now. Just want to mention this in their game here against the Cubs today with Bryce Elder going against Imanaga. This is going to create a little discount maybe for the Cubs if you're interested. Right now, the Braves are taking the steam here. They're down to even money, maybe even minus $1.05 here right now. Braves taking the steam. Cubs still favored. Braves taking the steam. We'll check on those Cubs injuries here today. That might be one of the factors. We know that they're missing 2 of their top stars here right now with Tucker and Crow Armstrong questionable. And then also we saw we saw Palencia leave the game there, I think yesterday as well. But anyway, let me get back to the Buccaneers and the Falcons here. We had the Falcons, and Wrong Way Koo missed an extra point. He missed a game-winning field goal attempt. I wonder if Wrong Way Koo is going to have a job here by the time he gets to work today. But it was the Buccaneers winning as Baker Mayfield threw a 25-yard TD pass. What I want to mention was Igba Igbuka, you know what I'm talking about, of the Bengals. I mentioned him on the Nuke the House show. I said, watch out. This first-round draft pick is going to pop off the charts here today. And he got 2 touchdown passes, including that great catch with 1 minute left in the game. So Bucks have won 5 of their last 7, and Atlanta Falcons outgained them by 100 yards in the game. But Atlanta, impressive with Penix, I thought, considering where he stands right now in his career. He engineered an 18-play touchdown drive that took 8.5 minutes off the clock and covered 91 yards. So Atlanta hasn't done very well at home in division games, and they failed again here in that one. They have a tendency to lose close games. I said that Atlanta would win this game because I think they had turned the corner in the close games department, and now they could find a way. But even with Penix, with that awesome touchdown when he put the ball down and used his hand to extend it, Penix looked good, but the Falcons lost the game. And Mayfield, he's clutch. Let's just face it. All right, Rams over the Texans, 14-9 yesterday in an afternoon contest, and Rams get it done and cover the spread. Puka Nacua caught 10 passes, 130 yards, a cut over his eye, but it didn't matter. Nacua looked good there yesterday. The Rams were 7 of 13 on third down. Houston just 2 of 9 on third down. Matt Stafford went to number 10 all time in the passing yards chart with reaching 60,000 yards. The Texans had 34 plays, 9 points in the first half, and the rest of the game, no points there. I thought that you would have a chance yesterday with C.J. Stroud. They definitely had a chance in that game, but the Rams get it done in that one. Also late afternoon contest with the 49ers scoring a touchdown with 1:34 left in drama-filled finish. They drove 68 yards to get the game winner there on the road. As it went back and forth late in a low-scoring game, it was 10-7. After 3 quarters, San Francisco outgained the Seahawks by 150 yards in the game. It beat Seattle again. So 49ers continue to look good on the division road here. Seahawks last 3 years right now, just 8-16-1 against the spread at home. The 12s were loud yesterday, but it's not quite paying off here right now for the Seahawks. They are having trouble in division at home and at home in general covering numbers. So 49ers get that win. How about the Green Bay Packers? They drubbed the Lions there in that afternoon contest yesterday, 27-13. Green Bay was driving all over the place. The first 3 drives, 17 points early. They led at halftime 17-3. Jordan Love, 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Packers won their home opener for the 13th straight season. No team's done that since 1988. The Lions in the first half could manage just 3 points. Total yardage was 500 yards. Green Bay only outgained it by 20 yards. Detroit only 46 yards on the ground. And how about Jahmyr Gibbs with that bizarre statistic? He had 10 receptions for just 31 yards in the game. That's the fewest number of yards ever achieved with a receiver. He's a back, but receiving, he caught balls. And least number of yards ever produced by a ball catcher with at least 10 receptions. So they really bottled up the star of the Lions there in that one. The Lions managed just 3 points in the first half, and they didn't score a TD until it was garbage time there with less than a minute left in the game and only 46 yards rushing. So the Lions lose their offensive coordinator. They lost both coordinators, but the offense was out of sync and didn't look good. Jared Goff, I thought I saw him in the Taco Bell drive-thru working the counter last night after the game. All right. Commanders drubbed the Giants. That's a winner that we had with our premium picks there yesterday, and we did have the under here on the show. Commanders ran the ball 32 times for 220 yards, got the win. There in that one, Deebo Samuel, 7 receptions for 77 yards and a 19-yard run. He fits in just fine. Last 3 years, the Giants, man, they just, on opening night, they are just a head case. Not good. The last 9 years, the Giants just 1-8 straight up and against the spread in Week 1 games. And Daniels improves to 15-6 as a starter, as Washington scored twice on their first 4 drives, led 14-3 at halftime. Pretty much dominated the game, and we laid the points correctly there in that one. Cardinals over the Saints, 20-13. Hey, I thought I'd get cute with the Saints at home, plus 6.5. I thought that they could match up at least with this Cardinals team, but they just didn't have enough offense. I said Spencer Rattler would be okay with this group of receivers, and they probably got to play Tyler Show there, but Rattler did get his receivers involved a little bit. Certainly Olave, I hope he doesn't die out there with a concussion every week, but he is elite, and he's going to have a breakout season if they could just get the ball to him more, it feels like right now. Arizona scored 20 points in their first 5 drives. They led 17-10 at halftime. The Saints were in the red zone in that last drive, but they could not score. So Rattler's 0-7 now as a starter. The Saints had just 3 points in the second half, and they were penalized 13 times for 89 yards. The Saints are a terrible home dog, 7-12 ATS the last 4 seasons. Colts clubbed the Dolphins. We had a premium pick winner there on the under, but man, the Dolphins, I'm sitting here talking up McDaniel, like he still can recover this, but when you got Tyreek Hill already whining in the first half, gosh, he is just a cancer to this team. You've got to get rid of him. Probably got to fire the coaching staff too, but give it a chance. Get Hill out of here. He's a joke right now. The Colts finally won a season opener for the first time in a dozen years. Indy scored on all 7 of their drives, 418 yards, and dominated the yardage by over 200 yards there. And Steichen, he's good. We talked about these games, 13-6 ATS in closely rated games of a field goal or less. So Steichen makes the switch to Daniel Jones, 272 yards passing on 22 of 29. I said, maybe correctly, wasn't making excuses because I thought the Dolphins would come in there and be able to win because of Tua. But the key here, I think, with this bringing in Jones, I sometimes like when you bring in these veteran quarterbacks that have kind of failed in the past but have the talent and experience. And with a good coach like Steichen, maybe the Colts have found the right formula for them, at least for right now, there with that. But more so, the defense did a pretty good job too. Dolphins, first 5 drives, no points. They turned it over twice. So Miami, but pretty crummy in those close games. Okay, how about the Raiders? They got the win on the road, 20-13 behind Geno Smith, one of the best quarterbacks in the league still, maybe 362 yards, a touchdown. Las Vegas wins, covers again on the road, 22-16 as a road underdog. Last 38 opportunities, and that's basically just over the last 5 or 6 years or so. Raiders 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 road openers, and they do pretty well in close games right now. The Raiders are getting it done, 11-5-1 against the spread in closely lined games of a field goal or less. New England did lead 10-7 at halftime, but the Patriots are bad in those closely rated games, 8-17-3 against the spread in games with a line of 3 points or less. Drake May is now 3-10 as a starter in the NFL. Jaguars crush the Panthers. Liam Cohen. This looks good here right now, right? Everyone said this offense would be better under Cohen. They first 5 drives, they had no points, but they ran for 200 yards, came back from that lightning delay. Carolina was 8-15 on third down, but had 3 turnovers on 9 drives. Panthers are just 7-14 in interconference games, last 21. Bryce Young just 6-23 as a starter now, and it was the Jaguars handling them. We did have the Jaguars here on the show, laid the points. Broncos over the Titans. We had the Titans there, plus the points of the premium pick winner with the win club, plus the 9 points. Titans kicked 4 field goals, but 3 of the times they had the ball in Denver territory to begin the drive, so really they couldn't get much going. They had only 133 yards of total offense. They had 131 penalty yards. That's bad. Last 2 years, Tennessee right now 4-12 against the spread as a road underdog, but they got the money there yesterday in that one. They had 4 takeaways in the game. Denver outgained the Titans 317-133. Denver had 151 yards rushing, but man, they've covered. Usually when they're favored, they usually get the money right now, but not last night as the Titans got the money. All right, I think we covered it. Hope you had a good sports betting day in the NFL. Let me know what you guys were on here, and I'll get started with our show. We've just got Major League Baseball for the most part to go along with our Monday Night Football and one game in the WNBA. So pretty short show here, I would think, today. So let me say hello to some more folks. Colts smashing Miami, says Twisted. D-Money, good morning here as well. And Nuke says, I have the Giants plus the points for my only loser. Seattle let Twisted down yesterday. And Jermaine was with me on the Falcons there. Let's see here. Jermaine says, Nico, his fantasy team there a little bit. Igbuka. We talked, Igbuka was a top standout. Flowers last night. Hey, hopefully on the stream you guys caught me there. I know everybody was celebrating there yesterday, but I rocked with my props in there. I almost swept the board with my 6 prop plays last night on the show. I had Justice Hill under 2.5 receptions for a winner. I had Rashad Bateman over 3.5 receptions on a ramp up for a winner. I had D. Hopkins there with over 14.5 receiving yards. He caught that long touchdown pass. I had Cook with an anytime touchdown there yesterday. I had Shakir over 4.5 receptions, and I had Josh Allen over 31.5 receiving yards. He finished with 31, so I just missed 6-0 by a half a yard there yesterday on the live stream, and hopefully I can get some winners tonight with the guys. I don't even think they noticed me yesterday. They were celebrating that Bills win and having a good time. I just came in there and pretty much swept my props. They don't pay attention to me over there. All right, let's see here. Gary said covered the Cards and the Niners by the hook. Jimmy's here today as well. He's got that turquoise face speaker shape. And Jermaine said, I was yelling at Mike, shut up, Mike. This Bills defense is terrible. And you know what? They are. But the Ravens had their issues too. Maybe it's a little bit of karma. Nobody's saying that, Jackson was wrong by shoving that fan who was kind of hitting him and getting in their face. Sometimes I'm not going to let the fans off the hook either. But you know what? They're right in front of you. They have helmets on. If anybody's been, it's weird when it happens, right? It's almost surreal. You can't believe the players are right there in front of you and everything. And they were celebrating up against. There was some Baltimore fans to the side, but uh, even Jackson admitted, I can't do that. I got to be cool. It didn't hurt or anything, so why push the fan, right? And Terrell says, wrong way, Koo should be out of here. Even last year, right, he keeps pushing those things to the right. He was a good kicker there for a while, but right now, over the last year, half a season plus, wrong way, Koo not looking good. Good morning to Jimbo here today as well. Switch that you're always trying new kickers, but there were some interesting kickers out there too. The young kickers, the drafted kickers, some of them look pretty good, and you're going to need a kicker this year. The big takeaway from me in the game, maybe I'm just overreaction, Ramon, as usual, and I'll be wrong in the end, but it was clear yesterday that the new rule, at least in week one, maybe it goes away, maybe it was a fluke, maybe nobody could score, but the average starting field position is way down here. I think we'll have to get the new calculated numbers, but offenses are starting far, not far, but far when you talk about in terms of, I think as I said, 8 yards further back from last year because teams are forcing them to return instead of kicking the touchback and bringing it out to the 30 like last year. Remember, the touchback now goes to the 35. So they said, let's squib it down there in the corners. Let's kick it short, either high and short or bounce it in short and make them return it. And now instead of getting to the 35, they're often ending up closer to the 27-yard line or so. This is resulting in a longer field of approximately 8 yards per drive, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot, right, when you talk about it in the end. And so you have to go down the field that much longer, and the scores right now, plenty of unders this season so far. Out of the 15 games, I believe it is 12-3 or 11-4, whatever the case may be. I think it's 12-3, right, with the unders. This is making a big difference right now. The books, I think, will have to adjust right away in week one with the totals. We'll see. We've already seen the lines come out here. For next week's NFL games, and it doesn't look like there's too much adjustment. So look, I don't want to tell everyone to start betting unders here that next week. Maybe the offenses will click, and there's probably a little bit of give and take in that too. But there's no doubt the rule, the average starting position is down. It's harder to go down the field when that is happening, and that's why we see these lower scoring games here right now dramatically. Okay, and not only the 8-yard difference, but the average score here down almost 3 whole points. Remember, we had gone through a series where it was low scoring, then we got back to some high scoring, and now all of a sudden, right back. Just 1 week, so let's see what happens. Okay, will Zay Flowers be for real? Here's Twisted with his plays today. The Royals, Washington, Texas, and the A's there. Nuke says the Dolphins were dominated in that game. What was I thinking, right? And what's Tyreek going to do? I mean, it's just a bad look. You're in the first quarter. Okay, maybe you're a competitive guy, but that gets nothing done right now. And not only that, in any defense, I can't really defend Mike McDaniel here because nobody Mike McDaniels because nobody likes him but me, I guess. But the team's already quit on him. The team's already quit after not even one game. In the middle of the game, pretty much it felt like there yesterday. All right, Jermaine said he had did Jones for a big game there yesterday. Good morning to Tariq as well, and Jermaine there. Twisted says the Panthers are not looking good either. Yeah, they aren't for sure. I want to try to temper that a little bit. Let's just wait. I mean, they're not going to get much better, but maybe they'll be a little bit better than what we saw there. I'm not giving them a pass. All right. I think is Jermaine talking about, Terrell says there could be some bad teams this season. And Jimbo says, I would, yeah, well, you know what, Jimbo, we know why. So Mikey said it on the show yesterday. He says, I don't know. He said, I think they got to change the rule back kind of because this is resulting in too many kick returns. But all they're trying to do, they don't mind kick returns. They want kick return, I think, but they don't want guys with 50-yard head of steam going down and crashing into them. So you got that, that thing at the 40-yard line. So there's less momentum to crush a guy, and that should help there, supposedly, right? All right. That's it, I think, for the preview portion of the program. And hey, uh, uh, man, I was a little flustered with the start there for sure. I got to be better. And baseball, apologies. I rarely say apologies, but baseball card yesterday for the Win Club, not good. Maybe because, maybe I was too focused. I did my due diligence with my baseball cap, but it did not work out. In baseball, it cost us a lot of money there yesterday. Did have a few winners here. Win Club, Cleveland over Tampa Bay. We also gave out the under on the show. We also had the under in Dodgers and Baltimore yesterday. Once again, man, the Dodgers they got the win, but the offense is stuck. We did have Washington here on the show with that run line play after the players were ruled out. And we'll talk about it again today with those two key players. Also had Texas as a winner on the Win Club and the under on the show yesterday. WNBA did have a winner here on the show yesterday with Phoenix and Connecticut game to go over. I'm sorry, Indian Washington. I mean, let me get the numbers straight here with these. Yesterday, okay, we had a winner with the Win Club, Dallas and LA game to go under with that LA win by 14 points there yesterday in that one. We'll get ready because we got last games of the WNBA season are tomorrow. There's one game today, and it's going to come down to the last day of the season to find out who the final team is. It will likely be the Seattle Storm, but they have not clinched yet. We're still trying to see if the Sparks would need to win their last two games, and the Storm would need to lose their last game. The Sparks do own the tiebreaker there. It comes down to tomorrow. The Sparks will be playing on the road at the Mercury, while Seattle will be at home against the Valkyries. Okay, I think that's it for the previews here. We'll go with our little commercial here as well right now and see who's with us in the chat and who's looking good on the algorithm a little bit as well. Let's run the commercial, get right back and start the show here.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, we don't want to leave anybody out there as far as the baseball coverage, though, there from last night. There were a few interesting developments there yesterday. We saw some interesting results here, but Cal Raleigh, 53rd home run in that game. He was up against Suarez, who hit a couple of home runs as well, two of the big sluggers there yesterday. Ben Rice had a 3-run home run in that Yankees win as Yankees won again there yesterday. All right, let's look at who is doing me a solid here in the chat. AOD, Jermaine, Terrell, Bobby Mack, Nuke Worker, Twisted, Jimbo, Gary, Tariq, and Nasty Nate. Thank you guys for being there in the chat and keeping me going here with the start of the show. All right, let's get into the action here in the major leagues today with let's start with Monday Night Football. Duh. All right, let's get with it here. Division battle with the Minnesota Vikings here on the road, taking on the Bears tonight at Soldier Field. You know, the Vikings are favored here by 1.5 total, a whopping 43.5 when you have, well, let's just face it, you do have a rookie quarterback to a certain extent. Now we know J.J. McCarthy isn't a true rookie. It's funny because, right, don't we say, oh, these teams, they should uh, sit their quarterback and let him watch for a year and then he can go. J.J. McCarthy seems like the guy that, maybe that'd be a good idea that he did that, and maybe he will be ready. Now, Sam Darnold did pretty well, for this Minnesota team last year, and hey, he did pretty well for the Seahawks yesterday. Maybe not great. Maybe the Vikings are a decent team that a guy like Darnold was able to go in there and perform so well, it seemed like, right? But maybe Kevin O'Connell, who, I don't know, I think he continues to kind of get overlooked here as a good coach, maybe a kind of a quarterback whisperer. I think he's got his man in J.J. McCarthy. Minnesota coming off that 14-4 season last year. Yeah, maybe they weren't experienced enough, and that's why they got booted from the playoffs. But not only does McCarthy come in with a former quarterback as his coach, kind of got him along, but maybe they got a decent run game in here too, a little bit that can help him, balance things out here with Aaron Jones in there. And when you're up against these Bears right now, I mean, let's face it, to me, the Bears, not great on with run defense. Feels like their worst part, so I think Minnesota should be able to have a good time running the ball. I kind of do worry for McCarthy in this game as far as the pass is concerned, because that's one thing the Bears, I think they do okay against, is going up against the pass. Now, when you do have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, you got to think that that should be enough to help McCarthy get it going. But like I said, the Bears do pretty well. Now, the Vikings will harass quarterbacks, and Williams may be on the run here a little bit, especially if they can't get the running game going with DeAndre Swift here tonight. Also, let me take a look here. I think Roschon Johnson, he's questionable here. That seems pretty important, actually. I think we will see Roschon Johnson here, but after that, you could be in there with Kai Monangai here today. So we'll see. He was off the injury report, and he's going to make his debut here. He might end up being RB2 if Johnson isn't ready to go. Now, if Williams can stay set, stay stable, and not be too quirky on the run, because, he does throw well on the run, and he's got some guys who can do it for him here, obviously, today. Now, I would think DJ Moore, this is going to be, Moore was great last year with Williams. They had a real good connection, and this could be a good night for DJ Moore of the Bears. I know scores are down. We got to find somebody here to, rough start to the market today, huh? Boy, I thought we were going good there at the beginning. Okay, so for DJ Moore, I think good option here. And we got Rome Odunze as well. Good options here for the Bears, but the Vikings are, if they can bottle up that run and kind of force you to throw a little bit, I think that's where the problems might lie here for the Bears and Williams. I mean, to me, the Vikings still feel like the better team, if you will. Here, their offense can move the ball through the air possibly here with McCarthy, or at least control the offense a little bit. The defense of the Vikings, they are pretty stingy. They're pretty opportunistic, getting their takeaways. They're also a top 5 scoring defense. The Bears, meanwhile, just 5-12 last year. They bring in Ben Johnson here from the Lions, so we'll see how that goes with today's game. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. Let me get some numbers out here to see what you guys think in tonight's Monday night football game with the Bears taking on the Vikings here. The Vikings have won 9 of their last 11 games overall. They've won 7 of the last 8 meetings with the Bears. The Bears have dropped 5 straight games at home. They've dropped 5 straight games at home to the Vikings as well. So 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and the Bears, they've won 1 of their last 12 games overall. Remember the Hail Mary game, and from there, remember the Hail Mary game last year with the Jaden Daniels, and they lost that one, and ever since then, it's been all downhill. It feels like for the Bears right now. They've changed their defensive coordinator. They're certainly, like I said, probably bottom of the league here a little bit when it comes to defending the run. They allowed nearly 5 yards per carry last season. So if the Vikings can get on track, they can control the game. And McCarthy, he might be a game manager at this point of his career. All right, let's see what you guys have in the chat. Hopefully that's some good information anyway on Monday Night Football. Let me know what you want to hear from me. We'll preview these games. Here we go. Nuke is on the Vikings on the money line. And Jermaine says, I didn't think McCarthy was very good at Michigan. He's obviously not going to be very good in the pros. Jimbo says, get me the under here. Robert's going over. D-Money on the under as well. Tariq sees an over here, and he likes the underdog. And let's see here. Jermaine says, how about a first quarter under because the Bears don't get on track, right? Terrell says, over. It's prime time. You got to go over in the primetime games. I can't go over in any game right now the way I'm seeing it. Here's Vikings on the spread and under right now. Twisted says, I like the Bears. Under a full game. The Bears want to run. If their deep forces McCarthy, he'll have to use his arm, and I think that's where the mistakes will be made, says Twisted. And maybe both teams will look to grind it out. Terrell says Caleb can have over 250 yards with this offense right now. But Twisted says this one equals a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the Vikings to win and cover here on the road. Look, I think they've got the edge here with just organizational-wise right now. And I'm a fan of Kevin O'Connell as coach here. Not to overwhelm right now, look, we know they've had some incredible seasons here so far with O'Connell as coach. So they definitely have their man here as well. So, all right, we'll see. Caleb Williams, I thought, I know a lot of people criticize him, but completed 62.5% of his passes last season with 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. I think that's pretty good for a rookie. I think with the upgrade here for the Bears coaching, that's a pretty good situation as well. So McCarthy, look, he's not being told to, go out there and overwhelm this team here right now with his passing game. They'll look to control it for sure. Bears are pretty good. ATS at home. Let me get some of these overall numbers here for the Bears. They've had 4 straight losing seasons, but we'll see with Ben Johnson in here right now if he can get that offense going. The Bears just 3-11-1 against the spread in the division over the last 5 years, 6-11-2 in the last 19 games when the spread is 3 points or fewer, so they just don't win these closely rated battles. Although the last 2 years, Chicago 10-5 against the spread at home. So Vikings have won 8 of the last 9 overall in this series, and I mentioned those 5 wins and covers here in Chicago. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and the Vikings are 11-5-2 against the spread on the road over the last 2 seasons here. And O'Connell, definitely a winning coach so far. Okay, a few more comments from you guys. I'm taking the Vikings here tonight. All right. Twisted said maybe the Bears fan, they'll have big time fan support here. And Terrell says McCarthy was propped up by Jim Harbaugh and he's overrated. Yeah, you get a lot of this right now. People not really a big believer in what McCarthy does or what they did with that team, obviously. But man, this all you can do is win as many games as you can. So all right, I'm gonna take the Vikings here tonight. I think that's it from you guys. I'm on the Vikes here. Maybe that's easy here, but I don't know. Maybe the spread is low for a reason, right? Obviously, with a young quarterback in there, they're both are young quarterbacks. Okay, let's get to the baseball here right now. You guys are done with the comments in that one. I'll get right to it with the Washington Nationals taking on the Miami Marlins. You got Cavalli going here up against Junk. Oh, you might as well Junk. Go ahead and Junk. Jansen Junk here. Hey, the Rams are getting steamed right now for their game next week already here. We're going to roll with some steam before we get to the baseball, and we got to move here on the Rams in next week's game. How about that? The Rams are at the Titans. They were a 5-point favorite. Right now the Rams are -6 here in this one on the road. How about that? The Rams taking the steam here this morning on the Morning Steam Show. We also had some other steam come in on the NFL. Let me roll these off here. There have been some moves this morning. Think we did. Thought we did. Maybe we didn't.
Steam play.
Let me get this one out here real quick. We're in the baseball segment, and we're getting some steam here right now in the game between the Minnesota Twins and the Los Angeles Angels. Steam to the over here with Woods Richardson against Dana. It was 9, but we're going to 9.5 here right now in that one, it looks like, with the Twins and the Halos. Other moves for next week, Seattle and Pittsburgh game did get steam to the over. Well, why not with Pittsburgh, right? They look pretty good on offense. I know that didn't have a lot of scoring, but it's up to 40.5 here, up from 39.5, Seattle and Pittsburgh. Also, the Philadelphia Eagles got steamed against Kansas City. The Eagles are a 1.5-point favorite now. The Chiefs opened 1.5 in that one. Eagles now favored on the road. They took the steam, and the Falcons took the steam in the game against Minnesota. Of course, this game will come off the board later on, but the Falcons were getting, I believe, 6 points from Minnesota early on, but right now it's down to 4.5, I'd say. 4.5, maybe 5. Falcons took the steam against these Vikings, with the Vikings having not played their first game yet. Okay. Baseball now here. We've started our coverage with this one of Cavalli here. It's looking good so far for Cavalli. Pretty good numbers so far. We've only seen him a couple times out there, but you can only get out there and do what you can. Cavalli, a 4.85 ERA. Oops. 4.85 ERA, 1.48 whip, 6 starts, 2-1 record. And for Jansen Junk here, 6-2, 4.09 ERA, 1.12 the whip. The widely reported steam did come in here on the maybe I didn't have any steam on this game. My apologies. Right now, let me just get the current line then. I'm showing $1.40 on the screen there, but it's definitely down here to $1.25 or so, and the total is 8 flat. All right, let's hear from you in the chat right now in this one. I'm a little footballed out here. Forget how to even talk about baseball. All right, for Miami here coming into this one, they have lost 5 of their last 6 overall and 4 of their last 5 at home. Washington's won 5 of their last 6 coming in, although they are just 2-6 in their last 8 games on the road. coming into this one. Let's hear from you in the chat. See what you guys have in this game. All right, not much going on, I bet. But we have got to have some picks here anyway. Robert's on the over here in this one. And Rich says, give me Washington and the under. Yeah, I think for Washington here, they're on a pretty good groove actually here right now. So, but we'll see. Miami's been struggling at the plate for sure, and Washington's been pitching pretty well. The Marlins are giving it up like nobody's business. I guess I'm going to go with Washington here on the money line. Kind of likes as a premium, but it's kind of gone down here already. I think the move clearly on Washington here right now. Miami's been struggling at home for sure. And the Nationals they've been okay, but when you're going up against a similar team here, I think they'll be okay. Jimmy likes the under in this one. Next up, we've got the Royals taking on the Guardians here with Burgert. It's Burgert time today against Slade Ciccone. For Burgert here, a 2-1 record and 13 starts, a 2.61 ERA, 108 WHIP, 184 batting average against, and a 215 BABIP. That's no joke when you have 17 appearances so far. He came over from the Padres, but good numbers for Burgert. For Ciccone now, 19 starts, 4.78 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. Coming into this one for Kansas City here, they come in, getting great pitching here of late. They've gone under in 8 of their last 9 overall. Cleveland's won 4 of their last 5 coming into this one. Let's see what you guys have here with Cleveland taking on Miami here. The Royals bats are struggling for sure, but both teams getting good work out of the bullpen here right now. I want to see what you guys have here. Nothing from the chat. Nobody wants any baseball today. Robert likes the Guardians. Robert likes the Guardians here in this one. All right. As far as the standings are concerned, there's not a lot of difference between these two teams here right now in the standings, right? You got Cleveland here, 2.5 back of the wild card right now. If I'm not, I got to look at it. Cleveland 2.5 back here in the wild card right now. And Kansas City is 2 back, so they're only separated by a half a game right now. Texas is in front of them as they try to chase down Seattle for the most part. Seattle's the team with the pressure. So, yeah, Cleveland's at home a little bit. And, this seems like a pretty even game. Here's Jimmy on the Indians here. Rich says Kansas City and the under. And Jimmy also, Cleveland money line. I think that's what he was saying. You can say Indians around here. Ever since a new administration, we can say things like that again. All right. Hey, I gotta make my call here. Feels like in this one, man, do have some troubles here right now. I think with some of these Kansas City road games, but man, I know I'm going to just go with the under for sure. This is probably a premium here. I don't know who's going to win right now. Give me the under. I think I'm giving a premium away right now. Premium, I'm going under with the Royals and the Guardians. Next up, the Mets are taking on the Phillies here, and seems like a good pitching matchup. You got Nolan McLean here, looking good so far. 4-0 record, 1.37 ERA, 0.76 WHIP. Now, Nola's been garbage, there's no doubt here so far, but for Nola, he's got a 6.78 ERA coming in, 1.5 WHIP, 346 batting average against. Nola's been awful, quite frankly. How are the Phillies going to turn it around here today against McLean, who's been outstanding? This is a big game between these two teams, a marquee matchup here tonight. for sure, with the Phillies firmly entrenched right now in first place. Certainly, the Mets are, 7 back, but I think, right, 7 back exactly. Yep, and but the Mets, more importantly, are still in charge in that wild card spot, the third wild card spot. They're 4 games clear of the Reds and the Giants and the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. All those teams have a chance. We're almost going to get rid of Miami now, narrow this down for the weekend for sure. But let's see what you guys have here in this one with McLean going up against Nola here. You got McLean as a superstar right now. The Mets have dominated the Phillies here of late, winning 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams. But the Mets are 6-12 in their last 18 games on the road. The Phillies, they've still won 7 of their last 10 games. Coming into this one, 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two in Philadelphia have gone over. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Philly's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home. Let's see what you guys have in this one today with Philadelphia and the Mets. Big game tonight. Man, McLean's been terrific. Nola has not. The Mets are smashing too. The Phillies are too. The Mets are mashing. No, yeah, Mets are mashing and the Phillies are smashing. Is that right? Still, if Nola's got to try to come through, I don't know. We'll see. It feels like a Mets spot for me. I got to take the New York Mets here in this one with McLean. Nolan McLean. Remember Nolan Ryan? He started his career with the Mets. All right, let's see what you guys have here in this one. 9 Legacy likes, back on that one. Royals, Moneyline. Jimmy's on the Mets here. Rich is on Mets, first 5 and over. And Robert says he'll take the Phillies tonight. Turn it around against this rookie. Fernando is on the Mets. All right, thank you, Fernando. Next up, they've got another good one here, an important game for the Cubs, given their current standing, and they're well clear. I think they're homeward bound in the playoffs, but they've lost a couple in a row here. They're taking on the Braves here tonight with Shoto Imanaga on the mound. He's 9-6 with a 3.15 ERA, 205 batting average against a 208 BABIP. Imanaga's been so solid this season. For Elder here, 24 starts, 5.54 ERA, 272 batting average against, and a 305 BABIP, which play here in Atlanta tonight. Cubs have lost 8 of their last 12 overall to Atlanta, and the Cubs have won just 1-7 in their last 7 games, 1-6 in their last 7 games here against the Braves in Atlanta. Atlanta's lost 7 of their last 10 coming into this one. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and these two pitchers are a combined 11-29 to the under so far this season. Nearly 11. What did I say? 11 and 20. I could figure this one out, right? 25 versus 11, 29, 1-3. All right, whatever. 11-29 to the under here so far this season. Elder a 5.5 ERA coming into this one. Let's see what you guys have though. Imanaga pretty solid on the road with an ERA just over 3, and Elder's got an ERA of 7 at home so far this season. The bullpen's been terrible here as well. Let's see what you guys have. Atlanta's dropped 17 of their last 29 at home. Here we go in the chat. It's going to be Robert's on the over. That's it from you guys. That's it from the chat. Everybody's tired of baseball, I guess, at this point. Hey, I got to go here. Look, the widely reported steam did come in on Atlanta here, but I got to go with the Cubs here in this one. Give me Chicago tonight. There we go. There's some more. We got Cubs here. And Imanaga, pretty okay start there. Quality start. Terrell says back on September 2nd. Next up, the Brewers are on the road against the Rangers, and this also feels like not a critical matchup, maybe like a Phillies-Mets game, but you have two pretty strong teams here. We've got Milwaukee, best record in the major leagues here, of course, this season, and you got Quintana on the mound going up against the Rangers. Rangers right now on the outside looking in, but they have just trailing the Mariners here by 1.5 games. They're live for sure right now. The Rangers come in with Jacob Latz on the mound, 3.15 ERA, 1.28 whip, 227 batting average against. Just 5 starts in 28 games so far this season for Latz. For Quintana here, 22 starts. Brewers are 15-7 with Quintana on the mound, 3.72 ERA coming in. We're in Texas here, and you know what happens in Texas right now. Texas is 4-1 their last 5 home games. They've won 11 of their last 15 overall. Milwaukee's won 4 of their last 5. They've also won 6 of their last 7 on the road. This is an interleague series, but the Brewers have won the last 6 games overall against Texas. They've swept them both over the last 2 years. Texas has gotten the sweep. Texas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. Coming into this one, the widely reported steam did come in on the over here. Let's see what you've got tonight when the Brewers take on Texas here. Quintana hasn't been perfect here of late, but Latz at home is pretty solid for sure. Milwaukee's been great. Texas, a lot of pressure on them right now. They're definitely pretty good at home, right? I mean, especially in a closely rated game here. Man, I know the Brewers are hot, but boy, let's see. I'm going with the under in this one as my pick, but I gotta tell you, I gotta think premium here on the side, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna give it away. I want you to go get my subscription package for 50 cents a day over at Winnable. I didn't even promote it today here a little bit. Okay, here we go. Hey, Sammy Sosa 2 is in the chat. Nice to see Sammy here. He says Cubs team total under. Not if you were in the lineup, Sammy. You'd go long ball here. Jimmy's on the Cubs in that game. And the Irish King says Nola. Not too good. We're talking about some of the older games here back there, but that's all right. Irish King's on Texas. Jimmy's on the Brewers here. Robert likes the Rangers in this one. Terrell says, has Yelich been able to come back yet here from his injury? Will he be available here today? He's still questionable. And I promised you an update on the Chicago, but all I really have is those 2 players are questionable here today. Talking about PCA and talking about Kyle Tucker. Both listed as questionable coming into tonight's game. Okay, I'll take the under there in that one. Next up, got the Twins on the road here with Simeon Woods Richardson going in this one. He's up against Caden Dana here for Woods Richardson. 19 games so far this season. 18 starts, 4.53 ERA, 1.4 whip, 248 batting average against. For Caden Dana, just 1 start, 3 appearances. Looked pretty good in that first start. Angels come in struggling at the plate for sure, barely hitting over 200 over the last month or so. The bullpens are kind of giving it up too. The widely reported steam came in on the over here, and why not? Twins can maybe take advantage here of this young pitcher, but let's see how you guys have it. I don't know if I want to trust the Twins here, actually, but the Angels just aren't hitting very well. For Minnesota here, they've lost 6 of their last 7 overall coming in. The Angels have dropped 5 of their last 6 games at home. The Twins have actually won 4 of the last 5 meetings here in Anaheim, and the Angels have lost 5 straight to Minnesota overall. Minnesota's gone over in 10 of their last 13, but the Angels have gone under in 7 of their last 10. So I don't know, what do you have here with the Twins and the Angels today? go to the chat here in this one. Robert's on the Twins. Irish King says Minnesota first 5 and team total over. Jimmy says he'll take the Twins here as well today. I got to disagree, and I'm going to take the Angels today in this one. I'll take the Halos here at home. Neither of these teams have much going, so I don't like what's going on with the Twins here. The Angels actually have the better record this season by 4 games, and they are favored. Right now it is mostly $1.20, and the total's up 9.5 under. All right, Minnesota against anybody but the White Sox. And Fernando's on the Brewers in his game today. You know Fernando's on his Brewers. All right, next up, the Reds are on the road at my Padres. Well, good thing the Dodgers keep losing because that keeps the Padres in it. These two teams, they might end up falling behind the Giants the way things are going. Hope not. Dodgers here, currently one game ahead of the Padres. Hey, well, watch out. The Giants are 7.5 back of those two, I think. It might not even be that much. I think it's 7 back here. Yeah, 7 back of the Dodgers for the Giants, and 6 back of the Padres. And not only that, just 4 back of the Mets. I think that's more important for the Giants. But anyways, for Lodolo here coming in, Lodolo, hey, oops. Okay. For Lodolo here, 24 starts, an 8-7 record, 3.22 ERA, 104 WHIP, 228 batting average against here. And for Yu Darvish, Yu's been up and down for sure. He's gotten a little bit better here of late. Seems to be kind of stabilizing himself here late down the stretch, but he still throws in some clunkers too. 11 starts, 5.75 ERA, 230 batting average against a 261 BABIP. So I think it shows that maybe that ERA is a little bit inflated here still, but I'm not so sure I can trust the Padres here as a favorite tonight the way they're going. Fortunately, the Reds come in here stinking it up as well. They've dropped 11 of their last 16 and 6 of their last 7 on the road. The Padres have beaten the Reds in 13 of the last 20 meetings between the two, including 12 of the last 14 games here in San Diego have been won by the Padres. So maybe it will be okay here. Maybe we can go with the Padres, but let's see what you guys have in the chat here tonight as Reds take on the Padres. Darvish has been much more solid at home, 3.5 ERA. Of course, they have the number 1 bullpen in the league, and against poor hitting teams, the Padres usually can get it done. I just not very confident in the price right now. It is down to $1.40, it feels like here, and the total has shifted to under as the favorite. All right, let's see what you guys have in the chat here with the Padres and the Reds today. Irish King says San Diego first 5, and Jimmy likes the over here in this one. All right. Well, I got to make my call here in this one, and I got to go with the under here with the Reds and the Padres tonight. Next up, Seattle Mariners are on the road here the Cardinals are on the road taking on the Mariners with Miles Mikolas here going up against Brian Wu. For Mikolas here, 27 starts, 4.89 ERA, 274 batting average against a 285 BABIP. For Brian Wu, 27 starts, 302 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, and a 243 BABIP coming into this one. And man, that's a high price. So no matter how you look at it, I know that certainly with Seattle here right now, still hanging on in that wild card. They've won a couple in a row. They're ahead of the Rangers by a game and a half. Cardinals, they're still alive. Remember, they're only 4.5 back here right now. So, gosh, can we really think that Wu can overpower here and get a run line here today? Maybe, but I want to hear from you in the chat. See what you guys think in this one, St. Louis has won 4 of their last 5. Seattle's dropped 6 of their last 9, although no doubt the Mariners have won 11 of their last 13 games at home coming in. So we got a little bit of steam right now coming in college football with Louisiana taking on Missouri here this week. Missouri was opened as low as 21 at some books, but right now they're up to 27. It was 25 a few minutes ago, but a couple of points here. Missouri taking the steam against Louisiana for this Saturday here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, for the Cardinals here, they've gone under in 4 of their last 5, but Seattle's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. Coming into this one, I got to take the Cardinals here on the run line to make a game of it here tonight. Give me St. Louis here on the run line. I just don't think that's a very, maybe the much better pitcher. And, Seattle has the better record, but St. Louis has done a nice job hanging in here right now, and I'll take them at plus 1.5 at minus 115. Got some Seattle is back, says Irish King, and Nunez says he loved that 2 TD call last night, and Jimmy says give me Seattle moneyline over, moneyline and over the 7.5. All right. Next up, we've got the Angels on. I'm sorry. Not the Angels. Let's see here if I can report on this team here real quick. College football. Florida International at home against Florida Atlantic. Florida International was a 1.5-point favorite just a few minutes ago, but they're up to 3 right now at BetOnline. We're seeing a move here on FIU against FAU. Both teams come in 1-1, and the steam's coming in right now on Florida International over Florida Atlantic here this Saturday. Okay, the Arizona Diamondbacks are at the Giants here with more steam. These are the important moves, you guys. Just get ready for these every Monday here in this time slot. This is kind of when things happen. And the Washington State Cougars are taking the steam here on Saturday night. Right now, the board is lighting up with the Cougars here in this one. For Washington State, they were getting 6 points at North Texas in a battle of 2-0 teams, but Washington State taking the steam. They just beat my Aztecs. They beat the pants off them. I knew that even though I blew that game with Stony Brook, San Diego State, they were terrible in that game. They were, toss-up or even a slight favorite against Washington State. Forget about it. Now, maybe Washington State might have something good going here. That they're taking the steam against North Texas right now. It was 6, down to 4.5. Okay, here we go with this one with the Diamondbacks and Nabil Crismat, the fine Colombian, on the mound here. 3 starts, 2.14 ERA. Crismat's looked good so far, but why weren't you in here all season if you're so good? For Logan Webb, 29 starts, a 3.17 ERA coming in, 1.22 whip, 263 batting average against, a 347 BABIP. Here, let's see what you have. This one's tricky with the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Here, Arizona's won 4 of their last 5 games overall, but the Giants have been super hot. They've won 11 of their last 13. They've won 6 of their last 7 games on the road here. Arizona, maybe they breathe a little bit of life here into the Diamondbacks here of late. Again, they are just 4.5 back. I mean, they're in that group. They've done a nice job here. They're actually half a game back of the Giants right now. So, I don't know. You really want to think that Logan Webb can take these guys down like nobody's business at home just because he's Logan Webb here? Crismat, he doesn't run that deep. He's not necessarily a big-time starter here right now, but he's done a nice job. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over here. Coming into this one, San Francisco, not great with the bats at home right now, and Webb has not been himself, it feels like. Diamondbacks have been a terrific road underdog this season for sure. So I got to take Arizona here on the run line plus 1.5. It is minus 140, but I'm going to do it. Give me Arizona here on the run line tonight against the Giants. A few comments from the chat. It's going to be Irish King. He's on the first 5 and team total over for the Giants. I like that Irish King is so solid with that first 5 and then team total over bet. And I know he means team total full game, right? When Irish King, when you do that, right? San Francisco first 5 and under here for my man Rich. And Jimbo says he'll take it too. He got a better price than I did. Maybe I better go shopping and I could probably get that too. All right, that's it for that one. Moving in here now to Boston taking on the Athletics here in Sacramento with Garrett Crochet on the mound here going up against Morales of the Athletics. Crochet, a 2.67 ERA, 107 whip, 305 BABIP, 225 batting average against. So I'm not saying Garrett Crochet is lucky. I'm never going to say that. The Red Sox are 19-9 with Crochet on the mound. Now, for Morales here, he's been excellent. What can you say so far about Luis Morales here so far? A couple of starts, 5 starts overall, 1.59 ERA. The A's are 4-1 with Morales here on the mound, 172 batting average against, a 221 BABIP. Now Garrett Crochet should come in and be able to have a decent start, but Morales has looked good, and Boston, they have won 8 of their last 11 on the road. They've been certainly hot here of late. The A's are only 2-10 in their last 2-8 in their last 10 games at home against Boston. They've also lost 6 of their last 9. Boston's won 5 of the last 6 overall between the two teams. Boston's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. And the A's have gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game, but these starters have been solid, that's for sure. Boston, though, the bats have been hot. They're hitting nearly 300 this week, or they hit nearly 300 for the week, if you will. The A's certainly are mashing against left-handed starters, but this is an above-average left-handed starter. We've seen some, struggles out of the pen for both these teams here of late. Let's see what you guys have in this one. The A's continue to go over right now, again at home, like it was the beginning of the season here right now, especially against good hitting teams. This one's kind of tough here. Let's see what you guys got. Sammy Sosa says, give me the Diamondbacks over the team total in that game against the Giants. Rich says, give me Athletics on the money line. I'll take the Athletics on the run line at plus 1.5 at minus 115. I'll try the A's tonight at home on the run line. And let's see here. Sammy Sosa likes it over there, and Jimbo, he's on the A's. One last game in the major leagues. We're almost done with the show here, gang. But you got the Rockies taking on the Dodgers here with Chase Dollander on the mound. He's 2-12 in 20 starts with 6.77 ERA. Colorado is 5-15 with Dollander on the mound. Going up here against, let me make sure. I think we're getting. Let me see if we've got the pitching, because I know there is a chance that this is going to be Ohtani here today. Let me make sure. I think it is Glasnow right now. Okay, I think it is Glasnow. $3 favorite here, certainly. So we can talk about it a little bit, but see what you guys want to do here in this one with Glasnow pitching. Glasnow an ERA of 3.41, a 1.11 whip. Coming into this one, Colorado, we know they've struggled this season with the bats, but the Dodgers aren't exactly mashing either over the last month. Dollander, he's one of those guys that it might not work out for him in Colorado, because he actually doesn't pitch very well in Colorado. But man, Glasnow at home, he does kind of mow him down a little bit here, and man, I think the Dodgers probably could take him for sure on the run line. But let's see what you got here with Colorado and the Dodgers here tonight. Last game of the board, Dodgers first 5 here for Rich. All right, I'm on the under here in this one with Colorado and the Dodgers tonight. All right, I know you guys fizzled out there a little bit on the games there from baseball after the weekend. We're all ready, but I'm surprised you guys usually want to shun the other sport and go with baseball. Maybe that was when we were in NBA and NHL season a little bit when all the sports were overlapping. Remember those shows? Okay. WNBA tonight, it's Connecticut taking on Atlanta, and Atlanta's up to, 13. Make sure you check out the 2-3 zone show with myself and Justin McKelvey, usually Ron Crawford, but after this one game, just me and Justin got together for the Sun and the Dream, and now it was 11 we were talking about. I think it's 13 here right now with the Dream. Oh, I'm seeing even 14 here to some spots right now with the Dream over the Sun. The Dream, at least they are, say what you want, but they are one team that is kind of not overlooking these bad teams. It looks like they continue to cover a little bit these big numbers. One of the few teams that do so right now at this point of the season. Does feel like they could probably take this one down as well. But let me see if you guys have anything in this one with Connecticut taking on Atlanta here tonight. This is the next to last day of the WNBA season. Tomorrow there'll be 5 games, and then we'll be ready for the playoffs and see who wins right now. Could it be Las Vegas? Could it be Minnesota? Could it be one of these other teams like Atlanta? All right, I got to make my call here in this one. And, I went, well, I don't want to get, I want you to go watch the show there with Justin and I, but man, Atlanta, I'll just take Atlanta today. It's already up to 14. I'm not going with a premium here. Connecticut's been pretty solid for sure, but like I said, Atlanta seems to be putting it down here right now against these bad teams. And not only that, we're looking at the WNBA standings right now. This is where the most intrigue is outside of Seattle making the playoffs is the battle for second place. So with these teams having just 1 or 2 games left here for the most part, I said that we have one more day. There's actually, I think, one more day left in the season. I don't think it's tomorrow. I think it's on the 11th is what Ron told me. 44 games in the season, and most of the teams have 42 games. So pardon me on that. But all the playoff spots are pretty much decided, and some of the teams will finish their season tomorrow. Seattle will be the first one of those teams to finish up tomorrow. Okay, so I'll take Atlanta here to blow them out. And Jim Zoe's on the Sun. I guess that's it for the morning steam here today. Thank you for joining me on the show. And if you want to enter in your name right now and click just something in the chat, you can get signed up to win some of my plays here with my Win Club, my high volume plays here right now. When you go to winnable.com/Ramon, check me out over at Winnable. This is where you can get my high volume selections. I've got my high roller plays over at Tony's Picks, and then followed by my high volume selections here at Winnable. So use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages from me here with the Winnable.com. And those are sent directly to your phone. You can set your notifications as well. They all come in looking pretty smooth for sure when you subscribe over at winnable.com. You also have Mikey Money over there and MMA Jeff on the Win Club with us here. This is how we ask you to support us. You could call it selling picks, but if you want to if this show is worth 50 cents a day to you, then why not go over to winnable.com and subscribe, get a few more plays. Can't be with you here all day. I try to give you some winners in the morning, but I do send out another package, usually 30 to 60 minutes before game time in many different sports, including overnight sports, international sports, tennis, soccer, sports from down under, where I really do well, because usually when I'm working, I'm watching those games in the middle of the night. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. It looks just like this. You kind of scroll up on it there, and you can subscribe to the plays for just $19.95, or you can sign up for the free subscriptions as well. You get free access. Usually try to get one package out a day of some free selections so you can get involved. But when you subscribe, it comes up just like you're going to the Taco Bell, and you can click on the button there, click to pay, and you're all hooked up with me. And I think any of my subscribers in there do know, and we've got several dozen of you signed up with me over at the Win Club. Hey, when you buy a week, I usually throw on 3 more days. If you buy a month, I usually throw on an extra week. If you buy 1 day, I usually just double it. So I'm pretty, I don't say generous about it. I'm just thankful to have your support. Keep me coming here doing the show every morning with your support from the Win Club. So please consider subscribing over there at winnable.com/Ramon. You can get it right on your phone. And I think it works pretty good. And now I like where they have the logos up there, the teams, the automatic grading there, the automatic grading as well. I really like that feature of it. For example, what do we have here? We had Tennessee yesterday, and it shows you there that we won with the Titans in that game. So, okay, really appreciate it. And I think we do. What else? Is that it for the sports today? I mean, the soccer's pretty light here, right? We've got World Cup qualifiers going on right now, mostly from Africa, but then some Europe later today, including Israel taking on Italy, Slovenia and Switzerland as well, Denmark and Greece, Scotland and Belarus. Definitely a lot of interesting games today in World Cup qualifying. All right, I'm going to do the drawing here right now and see what you guys see who can win the plays here from me today. All right, I think everybody's entered in right now. Let's do the drawing and see who wins. With 9 Legacy, Jimmy, Nunya, Newkirker, to Yod, Bobby Mack, Jimmy, and the winner is Terrell. Thank you, Terrell. Hey, hopefully, has Terrell already signed up? I'm not sure. Terrell, tell me what to do. If you're already signed up, I'll put another month on. If not, you know what to do. Use the promo code WINNER. Get 1 month of plays here today. Thank you to Jimmy. Thank you to Bobby Mack. The show is over. Join Mikey Money today, 9 Eastern and 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. I'm 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific mornings, right? Thanks, Terrell. Please do. You get 1 month. Just use the promo code WINNER. There's no charge there unless you let it expire there after a month, but you have to confirm it, I think. So use the promo code WINNER, Terrell. Give you a month of plays there. Thank you for everything you do for our chat. Really appreciate you here every day. But let me get my screen here going. So, okay, check me out there over at Winnable. And, we were trying to get our guests hooked up, and I think for today we will have – I'm expecting VB MMA picks at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, in about 3 hours from right now. We're trying to get a fighter here to be with us, and I think we might have that one ironed out. We missed it a couple weeks ago, missed the call time there. So I think we might have an MMA fighter today. So you want to check that out. And also later on, I think we're going to run both shows today from VB MMA picks, and also the we have the Contender Series show today as well. Although that one may end up being taped because I think we could only get the guest during Mikey's show. So that'll be up there, and it'll be up there for 1 day. So check it out tonight over at the live tab here on YouTube. All right, that's going to do it for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Break one for cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money betting with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the